Good afternoon. This is Brian Split with Allendale here on Thursday, September 2nd, 2010 with your closing commentary. We did have a higher settlement on the grains today in very light trade. December corn was up 3/4 of a penny at 4.47 1/2. We did have the DS11 contract up 1.5 pennies today at 4.51 3/4. On the bean side, we had Novi beans up 3.5 today at 10.09 last trade. November 11 beans were up 4.25 at 10.05 1/2. On wheat, we did have December wheat up 5 cents today at 7.13 3/4. The July 11 contract down just 1/2 penny today at 7.18 1/4. As far as news today, there wasn't a whole lot of it to talk about. We had very quiet trade across the board, not only in the grain markets, but also in a lot of the outside markets. There were some supportive export numbers out this morning for both corn and wheat and meal, and some disappointing numbers on the bean side. So we're continuing to hear disappointing yield reports from the trade, although from talking to clients and other producers, there's definitely the bad mixed in with the good. So we're going to be releasing our yield survey results tomorrow morning at 7:30. And again, anybody that participated with your own production estimates, we thank you for that. And it's your help that allows us to reach the numbers that we get to. So we had some other firms release estimates yesterday. They did reduce their yield potential for both corn and soybeans. Allendale and another firm will be releasing theirs tomorrow, so we'll see how that affects trade. As far as the soybeans, we did trade lower for the better part of the morning, but it looks like the inability of the soybeans to break through the $10 barrier did bring in a little bit of buying late in the session. Looks like the reduced estimates for bean yield have also been lending a little bit of support to this market as we go into the report next week. Going back to the corn 1 second here, it does look like the funds did buy about 4,000 contracts today. Soybeans, the funds were involved buying about 2,000 contracts of soybeans. On the wheat side, wheat was really the market that started very strong this morning. There was some news that Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin had made a comment saying that the ban on grain exports would not be lifted until next year's grain harvest was complete. Now, that doesn't happen until November of 2011, so there was a lot of questions this morning on whether or not that was a slip of the tongue, and if he was talking about this year's harvest, or if he is indeed saying that they're not going to be exporting grain for a full year. That did support the market early, but we did have wheat taper off a little bit at the close, only finishing about a nickel higher. So we're going to investigate a little bit more into that and see how serious that is. If that is the case and Russia's not going to be exporting grain until November of 2011, then that is going to put a lot of demand on Canada, the United States, and growers in the European Union. So we're definitely going to want to keep an eye out for further news there. Some of the outside markets, moving over to the meats, we did have cattle, the fat cattle October contract up 70 cents today at 98.45. Looks like Deese was up 72 at 101.32. We did have some positive economic data with retail sales and unemployment numbers coming out this morning that helped the overall economic outlook, which has supported the cattle market as of late, and probably made the fund money come in a little bit more confidently today. We also had the hog market up today, with October up $1.47 at 76.42. Had Deese up $1.27 at 74.15. And it looks like the storm moving up the East Coast named Earl is causing some concern over possible production losses. The nation's largest plant is in North Carolina by the name of Tar Heel, and there's a few other plants out there that could be disrupted. So if we do have this storm cause production disruptions, that is the concern here and why this market was sharply higher today. Moving over to some of the other outside markets, the stock market has been very quiet all day, really trading back and forth of unchanged for the majority of the session. Looks like the Dow futures are up about 10 to 15 points points going into the final half hour of trade. We do have this S&P up about 4 points in the futures, and NASDAQ up 14. So a higher trade today after yesterday's strong gains. Crude oil up $1.11 today at 75.02. Very strong close today, right near the highs of the day. And again, that is another market that is seeing some support from the storm moving up the East Coast as well. The dollar down 7 points. Very light trade in the dollar today. Again, that market has traded on both sides of unchanged. And today looked like a day of kind of consolidation for a lot of markets after a strong inflow of new money coming in the new month yesterday. Another market worth noting today is the cotton market. December 2010 cotton did have a high today of 89.91, and after the last USDA report, a lot of analysts put out expectations that this cotton was going to hit 90 cents a pound. So if you're a producer out there and you were looking for that 90-cent mark, we got very close to it today. So it's going to be very interesting to see how a lot of these markets react to the next USDA report coming out next Friday. So again, Allendale will be releasing its estimates for the USDA report next week, tomorrow morning at 7:30. And if you'd like to hear those numbers firsthand and did not participate in the survey, you're going to have to give us a phone call here at the office, 1-800-2MARKET. That's 1-800-262-7538. And if you want to check out our research, go ahead and look at the website at www.allendale-inc.com. And hope all is well, everybody out there in trade land, and good luck trading tomorrow. Thank you.